Get the bones.
Billy Johnstone makes me feel terrible about my life and my choices.
Yeah, me too.
Really, I mean, like, honest to God.
Like, why?
He's so fucking, he's like glamorous. He's such like a schlub next to him.
Billy, you're glamorous.
Yeah, glamorous.
He's like an Adonis.
He really kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, you see him, he just kind of like breezes around and it's incredible. It's like
5'4" Adonis.
I wish, I feel like a fucking ogre when he's when I'm in his presence.
Well, you know, Billy will be performing at the Oddfellows Playhouse on June 21 and 22, I think.
Something like that.
I'm gonna probably go.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going.
He's performing.
What are they doing?
The Dresser.
Yep.
It was an it's a play that Albert Finney did a movie years ago, and it's about a World War II Shakespearean actor and the guy who basically takes care of his wardrobe. Billy's playing the wardrobe, the dresser. Billy's playing the title role.
Oh wow, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like cool.
I went on the Oddfellows Playhouse website the other day, and there was no listing for it at all. So I don't know if you have to buy tickets elsewhere, because it's not considered an Oddfellows play.
Theirs, yeah, I can ask Billy because he just posted that up on his page the other night.
Yeah, I saw the poster. Yeah.
You mean the one that has Billy Johnstone right on the cover?
There it
is.
is.
Buy tickets.
Yep. Billy Johnstone and King.
Oh my God, you're right. It looks like a cross between King and Alan Moore. Buy tickets now.
Today I shall write a comic book or write a spell.
Do you want to try this very hot coffee?
Let's
before I give you
roll.
more?
Far too much information for me.
He doesn't like it.
No, I mean, I'm just
Nobody ever said that about me. Like, nobody ever went. It's really good.
because you're slamming, you're making it
It's so good. I like
for
it.
me. God,
It tastes like shit.
I'm trying to actually give it a go here.
Good.
Lou, do you want a shot?
I don't even think I want to try.
Give Lloyd. Give me. Also, can we have a little like a little bit?
I'll have more. I mean, it's a combination. It's an
In
interesting
a solo
combination,
cup or a shot
All right,
glass.
I'll take a shot.
But you want to know what? Coffee's coffee, and well, for a week I freaking had, I need it.
No.
You want to know what? It's a damn sight better than that gas man coffee.
You drank that shit up like a.
I needed it.
What coffee?
You drank coffee with the gas man?
Yeah.
We one of the times we went to the show.
Gas, man.
If you're gonna do that, there's a good
Yeah,
coffee
well,
shop
that's good.
2 blocks.
We were
from
like
Market.
tasty,
literally
please.
like a couple minutes before having to get there. We pull in the gas man and
What's the gas?
it's
man?
it's the gas station across the street from WESU.
Oh.
And the guy sells like fucking chicken nugget. He's got like all these weird
Okay.
I'm a gas man.
foods.
That must be where I got.
I think you might have
a couple
changed my
snacks.
life here.
Probably.
tonight.
Yeah, right. It's right on the corner.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
about crispy
Alright.
crowns.
So
Yeah,
we
so
went.
we're like-
I
so
went
we
in.
could go to
Get
Clicola.
cinnamon ginger.
Right. Like,
Really
what
have
happened
time.
to you?
Yeah, no, I get it.
You went over there once.
I went there real quick,
Coffee.
and I ran in and I got Lou a coffee, and he has all these fancy, the crafts of coffee.
Yeah.
Green Mountain almond
Yeah.
flavor.
All sitting there from 10 o'clock.
And then he's got in the middle of it, he had like a burner with a pot on it.
Yeah.
And I know Lou just wants regular coffee, so I'm like, that's gotta be regular coffee. I pour him this big one, bring it out. And we just made this joke that like
It's like
it's
the
probably
guy-
that guy's coffee.
It's his
that he
personal
keeps on-
coffee.
It's his personal coffee.
You probably put a cigarette out there.
I know.
The guy that's behind the counter is always behind the counter.
Yeah.
Morning, noon, and night. I have never seen another guy behind the counter, except when it was the previous guy to the gas man.
And every time I go in there, before the show on a Sunday, if I go in there, there's a character in there that I have to go, I wonder if this is when this place is getting robbed.
Yeah.
There's always someone sketchy in there when I go in there. I go in there to get a drink and I'm like, well, this dude looks like he might go off any second now.
So you're looking for like the exit. You're looking for something you can grab if you need to.
You're gonna throw like a Hostess cupcake at him.
Me and Tony, one of the nights of the Cult Classics last year, when we left the Cult Classic, it was like fucking midnight, 12:30.
Yeah.
And I had to get gas, and there's this little, when you leave Cult Classics and you're heading back towards,
there's a gas
there's a
station.
gas station. I went in there, and I'm telling you, man, there was these 2 dudes,
One guy with 1 tooth.
2 young guys. And when I went in there, they were being like kind of confrontational with the guy behind the counter.
Oh.
And I'm like, shit, this is going to be how my story's told. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I had that vibe like, Something's going down.
It was like in the goods, like choked on a sausage.
Like
after
in-
a
like
poke,
in the
like
ritual.
killed at the gas.
What's
man.
that?
Like in the ritual.
It was. I wasn't feeling good when I got out. I said to Tony, I said, man, let's get the fuck out of here.
Nothing's ever gonna be.
I think everyone should, at this point, it's like chasing The Walking Dead. It's like chasing Game of Thrones now.
Come on, puppies.
Everyone wants the next big dark fantasy thing.
Alright, come on, guys.
Because even HBO is doing.
Well, after Lord
They're
of the
doing
Rings,
another. They're doing another game like a Game of Thrones prequel series.
Yeah, they're doing something. Did they announce what exactly it is? Like what
I know it's taking place earlier. I don't know
Because
exactly.
he's written
how
all
it
kinds
is,
of stuff
but-
like.
Yeah, well, he's got tons of stuff, but I
I
don't
think
know
the
what they're
last book
doing.
he wrote before the new ones that he's supposed to get to was the history.
I thought there was a rumor at one point, or people were clamoring for them to do an Old Republic movie or series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I would love to see them do something in the Old Republic. It would be
I
awesome.
know they've done a couple of games for it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like them actually doing something darker and grittier would be fruit, especially back then, would be awesome. But
hated that board game.
what, the Old Republic?
No, the Game of Thrones board
Oh, the
game.
Game of Thrones board game.
I played it once. I was like, man, the mechanics of this game suck.
Oh, I mean, I've seen it, and all I know is that board is gigantic, and
It
there's
is
a
big.
bajillion cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a difficult game. It's just the mechanics. It's awful. I couldn't stand it, but I guess people that were into the game, into the show, or into the books, even were like, "Oh, this is great!" Like this.
2 left.
Not
2
everything
episodes
that's
left.
developed
Of
from a
what?
Game
TV
of
show
Thrones.
or a book series
that all there was?
is gonna
Yeah.
work.
Hopefully, I was saying to John, hopefully they actually like bring it in the last 2 episodes because this
Did you see
season's
you saw the
season's been
up to date?
awful. Season's been terrible.
Oh.
It's almost like they're at this point going, hurry up and get it over with so we can move on to the next thing.
Like
What a wet fart of a
with
season.
the latest thing with Daenerys, like.
All right. Yeah, you
Careful.
guys. I'm not there.
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, yeah, no, but it's
I was
gonna happen.
generalizing.
It's like what?
You see, now, not that I don't get it, but
Yeah.
you might just saying the latest thing with her. I know she's alive still. So right there, you're still. You know what I'm saying?
You know that since day
Why?
one.
This is the kind of show that kills people off when you don't think they're gonna kill them off.
They've abandoned those rules like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
That's one and a half the problems. They've started to ignore Martin's rules. There's untouchable.
They don't care about his rules because he
characters.
can't fucking write a book.
But the problem is you're taking the spirit of what made the books great and what made the subject matter great and just saying, you know what? Bye.
He can write a book. You have to understand that these books don't come out on a regular basis.
What I'm saying is, at this
And they-
point,
and they
It's
started
they-
developing
long
it
now.
ahead of time.
exactly, they don't care anymore. They
Literally, the end of the first book, the character you think is going to be the main character gets his fucking head lopped off. And that sets the tone for the rest of the books,
Right.
all the way through A Dance with Dragons. There's entire character arcs they scrapped out of the show, like important
yeah.
characters.
because these books are
Legitimately-
10,000 pages long.
But what I'm saying is like
Were
legitimately.
you the guy that's
important
complaining that Tom
characters.
Bombadil wasn't in the movies?
No, that was me.
No, that was him. I would love for Tom Bombadil to have been in Lord of the Rings. I understand why they didn't put it there
Oh, yeah,
because
no, I
they
get it,
drilled
too.
the focus down on the quest on the actual quest with the ring. But what I'm saying is like that was actually a pretty cool part of the book that they just scrapped out.
Just, I mean,
They go right from the Shire to Bree and skip everything in
there's a
after
whole-
it.
Well,
In between, I mean.
the length of time it takes them to get anywhere in the book series is ridiculously long compared to what's happening in the movie, series. Plus, things are developing for a lot longer.
Those years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years.
One of the things that bothered me about the movie is, I mean, the focus that they put on.
You want water or anything?
No.
No. Your cup.
What's her name there?
Arwen,
Yeah.
Liv Tyler.
I mean, it works for the film.
Yeah, and I mean the way they edited it stream was funny too. But
Yeah.
I mean I understand why it works for the film.
Yeah, it works for the film. Because The Two Towers as a movie is my favorite of the three.
Can I have
But
a
it's-
seltzer, John? While you're up?
Yeah.
it's so vastly different from the
Well,
book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
No, I'm good.
I understand because even Peter Jackson
Do you
said
like that,
if we cut the movies the way they were in the books,
Yeah.
there would have been
Lava.
so little
This
for
one here, I
Frodo
do
and
like
Sam
that.
to do
Right.
in the
I never
third
saw that
movie.
one
That
Right. And that did bother me, the way they cut
Yeah.
the third, second and third movie. I didn't complain like everybody else was whining about it. I'm like, come on, these are movies. It's a different
water
medium.
or anything?
Yeah, maybe
It's, you cannot.
I mean, because really, if you would really, as I said, if you would cut Return of the King the way it was in the book, they would have just showed up at Mount Doom, chucked the ring in, and been over.
Yeah. It just doesn't work the same way. And the purists drive me nuts sometimes. It's like, yeah, you want to film every fucking scene? Great.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to see every
there's
scene.
there's purists like that go over the top, but there's also, in my mind, ignoring the spirit of what the subject matter is.
No, I agree with you.
And that's
there.
and that's the problem with Game of Thrones is basically since what, season 6, like 5, 6, when they kind of broke off from A Dance with Dragons, they've basically just forgotten the entire spirit of what make the books the books. You know, and that to me is like without John in the room now, I can say we can talk really briefly. Spoiler alert, camera. It's on. So I mean, like, you have that core group of untouchable characters now.
Yeah.
That like, you know, nothing's gonna happen to them. And I'm not gonna name names because you just walked back out. But like, you have that core group, and that to me is just
We're not talking about
completely-
this.
That is completely against what the books are about. But
Well, I never read any of the books. Well, actually, I read the first
that's
one.
fine. But
I read the first
but like I said, I can't.
Wasn't the
I
first
can't,
one co-written with George Lucas?
I can't compare the ending of
Or am
the
I
show to
thinking of
the
a
ending of the
different
books
series?
because the books
Yeah.
haven't ended yet. But
From what I heard, they're gonna have the same end, but the
George,
journey from now
Martin-
to the end is gonna be different.
Martin has come out and said, that I told him that ending years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
leaving the door open for him to change.
There
the
was
way it
great
is.
in the
And I
episode.
hope he does, because
Which I do too. Because
I have a friend who's a fan of the book. He watched the show too, but when the show surpassed the book, he stopped watching the show, and he's been spoiled on every single thing. He's been spoiled.
well, I think at this
Until
point,
you
And
write
he's
something
so
different.
bitter about it, he doesn't even care about the books anymore.
I wouldn't even say that because I think at this point now, and like I was saying to you earlier, I think at this point that the happiest people in the world are his publisher and Martin himself, because they're sitting there going, good, now we can actually, have him finish the book and
Yeah.
people will actually want to read it. Because that was always one of the issues. It's like, do I watch the show or do I wait for the books? And now if with the show in my mind right now, this 8th season being as bad as it is, I think it's going to drive people back to the books.
It ain't gonna drive Tom like HBO. To
well,
read
it's
the
driving
books.
one of my friends away.
You know what I mean?
Well, but there's a lot of people who've read the books because of the show.
God, I can't imagine that.
There
Yeah.
are.
Like,
I
I can
started
imagine
reading the book.
readers doing that, but like fucking like Jimmy fucking
I started reading the book because of the show.
Right, and you got-
I did not finish it. I only read
exactly
one book, but
right because you don't have fucking like
I don't have that kind of time.
3,000 pages in that kind of time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, but I mean, like, that's the thing about him is that's why they call him the American Tolkien, because he spends a lot of time building the world, and that minutia, while it can get dry, is half of what makes the book special. Is the fact that he does take the time to describe things. As you're building. If you read a lot of Tolkien stuff, especially the older stuff, it's almost like you're reading a history book of Middle Earth.
Does he describe mutton a lot? In the books?
Not as much as Martin does.
Yeah, I've heard that Martin's meal scenes in the books are ridiculous.
Dude, his meals are so well described, they actually have a cookbook.
Oh, I know. All right,
You
let's do
can
this.
smell it as you're
Hey,
reading.
Lloyd, do me a favor. Kill the camera.